It's time to go to Europe. We're going to invite the PhD student, 1 year student, to present his experience in Belgium. Now, please welcome Yi-Hua.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Simon, and today I'm going to bring you to Europe. Okay, and my topic is broadening my research perspective through an international conference. And as you can see, in the bottom there's a serial number. I'm very happy that I got the NSTC funding for this conference, and yeah, by talking this, I also have a little story, continue with the previous two speakers. Because as the second speaker, Jason, his publication has been published more than 6 months. So that's why he has been rejected by the NSTC. And fortunately, my paper is almost to the end, and we're under reviewing now. So as soon as professor noticed Jason has been rejected, he asked me to find a conference before this year, to join. So, but the time he told me it's already almost the end of October, so there's no much choice. And I tried my best to find any kind of conference is related to the organic chemistry, and in the end I only found two. One is held by Merck in Belgium, and one is in Austria. And although I want to go to the Austria because it's held in the very last day of December, yeah, but because the conference for Merck I think it's more famous, so I have no choice to choose this one. Okay, so I'll briefly introduce myself. I studied my master and my PhD all in NSYSU, also supervised by Professor Liao. And my research field is to develop a methodology in organic chemistry. Okay. And in the very last end, I would like to briefly introduce my research. Okay. And here are the conference info. The conference I joined, the full name is Merck Organic Chemistry Symposium 2025. And briefly, we can just say MOCS. It's held annually, and it's a 2-day symposium. But actually, it's not a big conference in Belgium. Yeah. And the category for this conference is for the organic and a little bioorganic chemistry. And participant is mostly for local PhD students. So at that time, I'm confusing if me as an international student, can I join this kind of conference? So I wrote an email to them, and they said they're also welcome. So that's why I chose this one instead of the one in Austria. And instead of PhD students, because the biggest sponsor is Merck. It's a big chemical company, and also there's some pharmaceutical companies. They give a speech, some lecture speech, yeah. So, and they also offer some interviews, yeah. So, but yeah, only for the local student. And sponsor, as mentioned before, instead of Merck, there's also J&J and the Chemistry European Journal. And here are the program I just showed like briefly. Actually, there's 4 invited lectures, not much. So most of the time it's for the PhD oral competition. Yes, for the one who's going to graduate in Belgium. Yes. So there's many. So if you join the conference, you can see there's a lot. The PhD student they do a lot different kind of not organic chemistry. Also, in the end, because they're more focused on the application part. Yeah. So it's very different from Taiwan's research area. We only focus on the development, but not on the real application. Yeah. And the competition I joined is the poster section, which held on the day 1 afternoon. Yes. But because I'm the only one, the foreigners for them, so yeah, actually there's no quite interactions. Yeah, because actually they know each other already. So instead of poster section, it's more like a coffee break, a 2 hours coffee break. Yeah. Okay. And the second day is still the PhD oral competition and the final lecture. A big professor from Bristol, UK, is doing a kinetic control or something, and also the award ceremony. Okay, so that's the conference part, and here I'm also going to show how I arrived at Belgium. It's a difficult tour trip. Why I said so, it's because, as you can see, I took the airplane, it depart from Taoyuan, Taiwan, and then I took a 15 hours plane just to arrive at Amsterdam, Netherlands. Why? And there's no flight directly to Belgium from Taiwan. So the nearest place I can choose rather Netherlands or France. Yeah, but because I just been to Netherlands in this summer, so I quite like Netherlands, so that's why I choose Amsterdam instead. So as long as I arrive at Amsterdam, I took another roughly 3 hours train. Yeah, and it's not a one way, and not one way. I have to change 2 more trains to get to Belgium, the city, the conference which held in Blankenberg. And the Blankenberg city, why it's held there is because it's a travel site. Yeah. So the conference actually it's not held in university, it's held in a hotel. It's held in a hotel. And why there's a hotel here is because in every summer, as you can see, the view is just like our campus. We can just see the ocean outside. But because it's winter now, so the view is not so good. Yeah, the view is better here now. And instead of view, actually there's not much tourist site in this city. So it's difficult to find food. Actually, I stayed 2 days there, and the only thing I took is just beef and French fries. Yeah, but the beef is cheap and also good, and of course the French fries because they invent this. And the most thing I cannot get used to it is the in the 8 a.m. in the morning, I can still see the moon. Yes. And actually the sun rise at 9, so you can see the sun is on the east and the moon is on the west, same time. Yes. So after a 2 days conference, I went traveling because I cannot spend too much time in Europe because I have to come back to finish my paper because for the reviewers. Okay, so I spent another 2 days to travel Europe, but still only in Belgium. The first stop I stay in Brugge. It's a tourist site. Actually, it's their capital. I think I don't know when, but before it's their capital, and now it's Brussels. Yeah. So the Brugge it's more like a tourist site, and I arrived at Brugge in the evening, so I took some pictures for the buildings, as you can see below. And also because it's December, so there's some Christmas market. Yeah, so beside the city hall, there's Christmas market, and yeah, you can see the view in the night and in the morning. It's totally different. And also there's also some horses for tourists to ride to travel around the city. Yeah, and some amazing castles. Yeah, but I don't like Brugge very much because it's a tourist site, so it's very crowded, and a lot of store is like designed for the tourism. Yeah, so it's we can say it's most identical. Yeah. So after that, I go to my second stop, Ghent. I'm not sure it's the second or the third biggest big city in Belgium, but this is my favorite place, and not only me, also a lot of bloggers. Yeah, they also said they like Ghent. It's because Ghent is more for locals. More locals lives in this city. So if you want to travel in Belgium how to say to explore the locals how they live, I recommend you to go to Ghent. Yeah, and also the building here are more amazing compared to Brugge, I think. Yeah, so on the right first picture is their city hall, and the second one I think it's a museum near the canal. Yeah, and yeah, there's also a lot you can take a boat travel in Ghent. It's amazing here. Yeah, although it's winter, it might be a bit cold. And also the chocolate and the waffles here are also amazing. Yeah, not that expensive compared to Taiwan, of course. So I really like this city. And after this stop, I directly went to Amsterdam again, and then spend another 15 hours be back to Taiwan. Okay. And in the end, I would like to briefly share about my research. My research is about a multi-component reaction. Because as you know, the easiest chemistry reaction, we add two reactants, like A plus B, we get C. This is the most easiest one. But as we know, if we want to develop more complicated structures or drugs, we have to let the product be more difficult. And the easiest way is by adding more reactant, like 3 or 4 or even more, to get a complicated product. But as you know, the most challenging is when you add more reactant, you get more. Of course, you'll get only one major product, but also you'll get more byproduct. So how are you going to control the reaction to only get the major product? It's the main challenge. Yes, and instead of this one, our research is focused on the 4-member ring instead of 6-member ring, because and this is also a challenging for us to dissolve, because we want to look for a new chemical space for us, for the chemist or the biochemist to develop maybe a new kind of structures in the drug design. Yeah, so this is the research I'm just finished this week. Yeah, okay, and this is my experiments in Europe. Thank you.